Hey, Tom at Indiana Spray Foam. I'm gonna show you the correct way to install can foam around a window. Okay, so usually guys, we have a 1/4 inch, a 1/2 inch gap here from the inside of the wall framing to your extension jamb. Some people tuck fiberglass in here to fill this void up. Top, bottom, sides, doesn't matter. You could stack fiberglass and pack it as tight as you can. It is still never an air barrier system ever. So what we're gonna do is install can foam all the way from the exterior side of your framing all the way to the inside of your wall to ensure that this gap from your window all the way through to your extension jamb is 100% full of foam. The next thing we're gonna do is pre-shake the can. Then we're gonna start from the bottom all the way to the exterior side. You hear it hitting it? Always to the exterior. I'm gonna put a little bit in there. We're gonna fill it up to the extension jamb. That way you know all the way from the exterior side to the inside is 100% air sealed, the best we can do it with window and door foam. Extension jambs can be loose sometimes from factory. Window and door foam doesn't expand. It's very low expansion foam, so it will never move, buckle, hurt any of your inside of your window pieces at all. If you use regular grade stuff, the expansion on it could fill a 3-inch gap, which may move these. That's why we always use the window and door foam. I'm gonna keep going here. And if you can't get all the way to the back with the gun, go a little slower, pull the trigger a little bit faster, and it will fill that void in all the way to the exterior side of the wall. I usually like to do it twice. This stuff usually grows about a 1/2 inch thick, but then I come back on the second time, fill it up, and then you wait to cut it. At Indiana Spray Foam, no matter what, wherever 2 pieces of wood touch, we take caulk, put a light bead in there, all the way down that piece of wood, wherever 2 pieces of wood touch. And we take our finger and smear that caulk in. That way it's flat when the drywall goes back on. If you have any lumps like that, it's a good possibility that the drywall won't sit flat, and then that's not good. We want the drywall to sit flat on that wall. But that's just air infiltration. Even though there is sheeting on the outside wall, say you have a seam of plywood right on this 2x4, and on this 2x4, this gap is open to the exterior. Usually the only thing that's gonna protect that is Tyvek. Air can still move through it. You always wanna make sure that those gaps are filled with caulk to stop air infiltration in your house. So guys, if you got a gap like at the top of this header, if you could see it, 1/4 inch, 3/8, it's almost too big to caulk it. I would suggest taking some of our black can foam and putting it in there. That way it gets all the way to the back. Remember, this will gain 3 inches. So it should go from here all the way to the exterior, being this wall is 3.5. I just think this is way better to use versus caulking. Or if the gap gets bigger than 3 inches, of course, we just make sure the window and everything is protected, and then we'll spray that gap shut with our open cell spray foam. All right, guys, now we're gonna cut the window foam. Make sure it's dry first, of course. Just take your flat razor knife, and all you want to do is make sure that when you're done, your window foam is flush with the extension jamb. And sometimes the extension jambs come out a half from the framing, so you always want to make sure that that window foam is cut flush to the framing of the wall. If it's not, they won't be able to butt their drywall to it, and the drywall will stick out that little bit. So always make sure that that can foam is cut exactly flush with the framing of the wall. Thanks for watching this video, guys. Hope it was helpful. Stay tuned for more.